much for joining us. Tonight we're going to introduce you to the real milk paint. So this is a line that's new for us at Hudson Valley Vintage. It's been around though since 1995, made in the US, Tennessee. And we're going to show you how to mix it. We're going to show you how to paint with it, how to layer 2 different colors, and how to wax. So this is a natural product, and it comes in powder form. It's a traditional milk paint. So traditional milk paints come in powder form, and you mix them with water. Equal parts water to powder. If you want to use it as a stain, you can add more water and use it as a sink. So if you come into the store, we have these fabulous milk paint books, and it has all the colors. There's about 50 colors, believe it or not, and it goes over all their products, and it gives you a pretty good detail how to use them. So milk paint, real milk paint, this company, is used by a lot of cabinet makers and professional woodworkers. So it's a really super high quality product. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix some paint. I pulled some colors. This one is soft white. I mixed some up already. They come in these great containers, and I'll show you how to open it. So you can open it with a screwdriver or one of these can openers. And it's a traditional looking paint can, except it's made out of a heavy plastic. You open up the lid. It comes with a marble, which I'm going to show you in a minute why it does. And then the paint itself comes in a plastic bag like this. So this is just empty. So what you can do is you can actually mix your paint right in here. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to untie this. You're going to want to have a couple of measuring spoons nearby, preferably. I like to use tablespoons, but you can use whatever you want. And I'm going to take level tablespoons, and I'll put 3 in here. They're somewhat level. Okay. And this color is called Arabian Night. It's their blackest color, their darkest black. Okay. So now I'm going to take my water, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of water right into my paint can. And take my marble, drop it in, put the lid on. I want to make sure I put it on well, because otherwise I'm going to have a mess. Oops. And then I'm going to shake it. I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to sort of let it marinate a little bit. So the reason being, I want the pigments to open up more. So whenever you mix up milk paint, you always want to
it's got to hydrate.
Let it sit there for about 15 minutes after you do that. So I picked a color called Barn Red, because I love the color of barns. And by the way, this corbel gives you an idea of the kind of look you can get with milk paint. So milk paint, one of the reasons it's so popular is that it gives you a really authentically primitive look. And it really captures that farmhouse cottage look that we all love so much. Okay, so I'm gonna open some barn red, and we're still mixing. And again, you take out the bag, and if you want to mix it in there, it comes with a little marble. So I'm gonna mix this in a cup. This is what the powder looks like. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that cool? It's much finer than many of the milk paint powders that you see. So I'm just using a popsicle stick. And I'm going to mix it up. So now I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to mix up one more color. I couldn't resist this one, tropical jade. Okay, so I'm opening one more color. This one is called Tropical Jade. So each bag will make a pint. We also have quarts and we have sample sizes. So the testers are this size. So it's about 2 tablespoons in a tester. But I don't make a whole pint at a time. I'm only gonna make a little bit. It actually does go pretty far. So even if I was painting a piece of furniture, I would only mix up enough for 1 coat. So I mixed this up about an hour ago. This is soft white. I'm gonna give it another little mix. And it's been sitting for about an hour. Oh my God.
Here, show everybody what it looks like.
Oh my God, this color, I'm dying. Look at this color, guys.
So that's what it looks.
Yours. That is gorgeous. So beautiful.
So it really isn't foamy in there, you know?
No.
It's actually nice.
All right, so I'm just giving this a little bit of a mix. That's my soft white. And I actually want to add a teeny bit of water to it because it got a little thicker. It will thicken up a teeny bit as you go. All right, so that's the black. So I have a couple of projects here that we're going to work on tonight. One of the projects I have are these shells that I got these at Restore in Poughkeepsie in Dutchess County. So they're pretty cool, but I think they're ugly. So we're gonna paint those. And I also have a pair of bookends. And I'm gonna paint these as well. So we're gonna layer the paint. So I'm gonna start with a coat of the black. And these have a lot of detail on them, so I want to make sure that I get all in there in all the details. And the milk paint is perfect for this because it's a little thinner than if you've ever used like Fusion mineral paint or even chalk-based paints are very thick. Fusion is not, but this is thinner than both. Okay, how does that look? That's pretty good. Okay, Kevin's gonna be right back. Don't fret. So while he's doing that, I am going to start painting these. All right, I'm gonna start with my tropical jade, which I mixed up a few minutes ago. And I'm going to open this up. This color, oh my God, is that gorgeous? Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to paint this in this tropical jade color. Now this is going to be my base coat because I'm going to do my top color in a different color. My top over this when this is dry. Now, one of the things that people love so much about milk paint is that it distresses really easily. So we'll show you that in a few minutes. Doesn't it look better already? It's amazing.
Looks like a patina color.
Okay, and the last one I'm going to do in this red I mixed up. This is Barn Red. And again, I let it sit. And when I'm ready to use it, I just give it another little mix up. Look how pretty that is.
This one.
All right, so Kevin's going to go dry those and bring them back. This is my bookend. He dried this for me, so it's all dry. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another color over this, and we're going to show you how easy it is to distress, and then we're going to wax it. So I'm going to use the white over the black because I love the contrast with black and white. I always think it looks so elegant, the two colors together. Okay, so I'm just going to start going right over this. And again, this is soft white. This is the whitest white in the Real Milk Paint line. And it really suits a piece with a lot of detail. It's so easy to get it in, all those details. All right, honey, you want to take this? Okay. All right. So we're back to our, so look how that chipped. It's actually not a bad thing. You might look at it saying, wow, look how that's not adhering. Well, one of the properties about milk paint that people love so much is that you can get a chippy look. And we didn't do anything to do that. It just does it on its own. Now, Kevin's using a heat gun in the back, which is really high heat. So that will do it a little more than usual. But let's keep going, okay? So I'm going to first take this red one, and I'm going to layer it with the tropical jade. And again, I'm not covering it quite perfectly. Okay. Okay, so let's put another coat of the Snow White on here. And the Snow White is right here. Okay, let's put this over here. So these are dry now. And we have a lot of crackling going on, which is very cool. Now, if you don't want crackling with your milk paint, you can add, we have a product.
Well, and I hit it with heat, so I think,
Okay.
I think if you let it air dry, you're not, I mean, I could see it as I was hitting it with high heat.
Yeah.
It was crackling, and I could almost I could actually really force this milk paint to crackle, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah, so we have a product called Ultra Bond. See right there? So you would add a little bit of that to your milk paint if you want it to be more like a traditional paint. However, like Kevin said, he is using a very high heat gun. So, you know, it's causing it to crackle. But if you want it to crackle on purpose, you can go ahead and use a heat gun, right?
Yep, show them what it looks like with the crackle.
See that? So I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper.
I would take the dry brush first to see if you brush any
Oh,
of
okay.
see if some of the paint comes off. I think little pieces of it might.
Yep. Okay. So when you're going to be sanding your piece, I like to start with a very fine grit sandpaper. This one is probably like a 220. The higher the number, the finer the grit. And I'm just going to very lightly So I actually have 3 colors now, which is so cool. So I have the original yellowy color. I have the red, the barn red that I put down first, and now I have the tropical jade. So if you look on Pinterest or wherever you look, you see a piece like this. It's so cool.
Look at how easy that was.
You'd never know that. Would you ever believe this is an old paint?
Oh no, you would think that this was you found this in a barn or in someone's garage that's been sitting underneath of it.
Absolutely. And then look at this. This one we did the opposite. That is so cool. I know a lot of people don't go for this look. It's a little bit extreme, but it's just such a cool look and so highly sought after.
It's so easy to take something new with fresh paint, colors you picked, and make it look like it was painted 50, 60,
Yep.
80 years ago.
I mean, look at the bottom of this.
And they're all different. They'll all come off.
Look at the bottom of this.
They'll
Isn't that
all
gorgeous?
look different. So, which is really kind of
Yeah, I love it. You know, if you're doing this on a piece of furniture, it has to be the right piece. So you want to use a piece that you want more of a primitive look for. So you wouldn't use this on a modern piece or a mid-century modern piece. But on like a farmhouse table or a farmhouse dresser, imagine this on an old step stool, or better yet, if you have a new step stool that you want to make it look old. Oh my God. So that's what the layering colors is about. So you're basically going to paint it one color, let it dry, and then do 1 or 2 coats of your top color. You want the colors to be contrasting, and then you're going to let the last color dry, and then just take some sandpaper and go to town with it. I love this.
So this is a trick that I've learned with milk paint. So if you want to force the little cracks, if you look at the little cracks, I can put in this. So
We'll tell them what you did.
So that's using heat. And so what happens is with the heat, you're drying the paint really quickly. And so
Isn't that gorgeous?
it doesn't get a chance to dry, slow, and settle. But when you force the water out of it quickly, the paint will actually crack.
I love this.
So you'll see tiny,
you'll
see small cracks in it, just like you would see on an old door that's been painted 16 times. So that instantly looks like old cracked paint.
This actually, interestingly, looks like it's changed from a piece of wood to concrete.
Yeah, it looks like, it looks like old
Stone.
dirty marble.
Yeah.
You know? Like really, it looks like very, very weathered marble.
So now what I'm going to do is take some sandpaper, and I'm going to use something a little grittier because I want that black to come through. And I'm not painting, I'm just trying to dust some of the dust off. What do you guys think? Let me know. How does it look?
Looks really good.
Yeah. Okay, so I have some clear wax. It's nice and soft. I'm going to try it on the back first.
I'm going to take these brushes.
Yeah, and I'm just going to put a little bit on my shop cloth. Ooh, wait till you see this. And I'm just going to evenly spread it on. Look how it makes the contrasting colors pop. And then what I'm going to do is go to a dry part of my cloth. I'm going to just wipe back the excess. And then with using another dry part, I'm just going to buff it. And buffing basically just means rubbing really hard back and forth. And I want to do this until my piece has like a nice little sheen to it and it's nice and smooth. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little wax on, besides a little wet, I'm going to put a little wax on this side. If I was doing a piece of furniture, I'd use a wax brush. It's a lot easier to apply. And wax brushes are natural bristles, unlike paint brushes. See that?
And so milk paint does not, like the other paints,
It does not
have
have
a built-in top coat. So the wax actually seals the paint.
So let's
And you
try
really
it on
need
the back
You
here.
need to do something to anything like a chalk paint or milk paint. You need to seal it.
I'm going to do it on the back first since we already waxed
And so if you put clear wax on and then you put dark wax over top of it, what happens if you put too much dark wax on? You can take that off
You can erase it
with clear
with
wax.
the clear wax.
So you need to put, so if you're doing it that way, so always, the reason you put clear wax underneath is in case you put the dark wax on and it's too much, then you can put some more clear wax on a cloth, wipe it on, and you'll actually be able to erase the dark wax off the top, as long as the clear wax is underneath.
Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of the black wax over here. It's actually called Ebony. So this side I didn't wax, and this side I did. So look how it brought the details out. Can you see the difference?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So One last thing I'm going to do. I think I want to put a little wax on this. So I'm going to start with the clear wax.
Leave the wax on longer, will that make it any darker
Yes.
before you buff it?
Yes.
Yep.
So because of the fact that we're doing this, you know, you guys are sitting at home and watching, you know, I would probably leave it on for about 10 minutes and then go back and buff it. Now, if I wanted to, at this point, I could put on, we have gray wax. Look at this. I'm just showing them, honey. Kevin's making faces.
I don't think it would work for that.
I don't either. We have white wax. The white wax looks fabulous on dark colors. Gives you like a beachy look. So, so that's it. We showed you how to mix the milk paint. We showed you how to layer colors. And we showed you very basics on how to use the wax. So what we'll do next time is we'll go into a little bit more painting. We'll show you how to use some of the finishing oils and the finishing creams. And you're going to be an expert on using milk paint. All right, guys, so have a great night. Again, it's Risa and Kevin from Hudson Valley Vintage.